The 48 Laws of Power is one of those books everyone talks about, often with a mix of awe and a little bit of fear. It's controversial, sure, but it's also packed with insights into human nature and the dynamics of influence. Whether you love it or hate it, understanding these laws can give you a different lens through which to view the world, helping you navigate complex social situations and even protect yourself from manipulation. It's not about becoming a villain. It's about recognizing how power works so you can apply it, or at least understand when it's being applied to you. Let's dive into some of these foundational principles. The first law, never outshine the master, is all about making your superiors feel secure in their position. If you're too good, too fast, too smart, you risk making your boss or mentor look bad. People in power often have fragile egos. They want to feel comfortably superior. So, instead of constantly showing off your brilliance, find ways to make them shine. Give them credit. Downplay your own talents and let them take the spotlight. This isn't about being weak. It's about strategic humility that builds trust and makes them want to keep you around rather than seeing you as a threat. Think of it as planting a seed of loyalty, not a flag of dominance. Next, we have never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. This one sounds harsh, but it lays bare a truth many people ignore. Friends, because of their closeness and shared history, can often become envious of your success. They might feel entitled, or their loyalty might be conditional. Enemies, on the other hand, especially those you've helped or hired, often have something to prove. They are more likely to work harder and be more loyal because their position is less secure, and they know they owe you. This isn't to say all friends are bad, but it's a warning to be cautious and to understand the different motivations people have. Law 3, conceal your intentions, is a powerful tool for strategic advantage. If people don't know what you're really after, they can't prepare for it. Keeping your motives hidden allows you to lead others astray, letting them think one thing while you're actually planning another. By the time they figure it out, it's often too late for them to react effectively. This creates a sense of mystery and unpredictability around you, which can be a form of power in itself. People tend to be wary of what they don't understand, and that wariness can buy you time and space to execute your plans. Following that, always say less than necessary, emphasizes the impact of brevity. The more you talk, the more likely you are to say something foolish or reveal too much. Powerful people often impress by speaking little. Their words carry more weight because they are chosen carefully. When you say less, you appear more profound, more in control, and more mysterious. It forces others to fill in the gaps, often projecting their own desires and fears onto you, which you can then subtly leverage. Silence can be a weapon, making your opponents nervous and eager to talk, thereby revealing their own weaknesses. Law 5 is so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. Your reputation is the cornerstone of your power. It's how people perceive you, and that perception can be more important than reality. A strong reputation can intimidate enemies and attract allies. You must guard it fiercely, protecting it from any stain. And, just as importantly, you can destroy your enemies' reputations by undermining them subtly, spreading rumors, or exposing their flaws. Once a reputation is tarnished, it's incredibly hard to restore, and their power often crumbles with it. Finally, for now, we have caught attention at all costs. In a world full of noise, standing out is crucial. You need to appear larger, more colorful, and more mysterious than the general crowd. Don't be afraid to be different, to create a spectacle, or to do something unexpected to draw eyes to you. Attention is a form of currency, and the more you have, the more influence you can wield. Whether it's through your appearance, your words, or your actions, make sure you're getting noticed. Before we continue, subscribe to the channel and tell us in the comments where you are watching from. Moving on, law number 7 advises us to Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. This isn't about being lazy. It's about efficiency and leveraging resources. Smart individuals understand that they don't need to be the expert in everything or do all the heavy lifting themselves. Instead, they identify those with the skills, knowledge, and energy, and then delegate tasks. The key here is not just getting the work done, but ensuring that the recognition and praise for the successful outcome land squarely on your shoulders. It saves you time and effort, allows you to focus on bigger picture strategies, and enhances your image as a capable leader, even if others did the groundwork. This practice reinforces your position and makes you seem indispensable, as you are the one who orchestrates success. Law number 8, make other people come to you, is a strategic principle about controlling the interaction. Instead of chasing after people or opportunities, you create a situation where others are compelled to seek you out. This could involve making yourself scarce, creating an illusion of high demand, or offering something so valuable that people have no choice but to approach you on your terms. When others come to you, they are already operating from a position of need or desire, giving you the upper hand. You can dictate the terms, set the pace, and maintain control of the negotiation. It's about seducing them with the prospect of gain, making them abandon their own plans, and then, once they are within your sphere of influence, you can strike or guide them as you see fit. Following that, law number 9 states, win through your actions, never through argument. And this law highlights the futility of verbal disputes. While you might temporarily win an argument, you often breed resentment and animosity in the process. People rarely change their minds because they were logically defeated. Instead, they often dig their heels in deeper. True influence comes from demonstrating your points through concrete actions and results. When your achievements speak for themselves, there's no need for lengthy explanations or debates. Your success becomes undeniable, making any opposing arguments irrelevant. It's far more effective to show someone the benefits of your approach than to try and convince them with words alone. Law number 10 is a stark warning. Infection. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. This principle suggests that emotions and attitudes are highly contagious. Spending time around negative, pessimistic, or consistently unlucky people can drag you down, infecting your own outlook and potentially your fortunes. Their problems can become yours, their misery can become your burden. To protect your own energy and prospects, it's crucial to choose your associates carefully. Gravitate towards those who are positive, ambitious, and fortunate. Their good mood and success can rub off on you, creating a more favorable environment for your own endeavors. It's about recognizing the subtle but powerful influence people have on your mental and emotional state. Next, law number 11 teaches us to learn to keep people dependent on you. This is about securing your position and maintaining your independence by making yourself indispensable. If others can easily function without you, your value diminishes, and so does your power. The goal is to possess unique skills, knowledge, or connections that are vital to an organization or individual's success. Don't teach everything you know. Hold back just enough so that you remain essential. This creates a reliance on you, ensuring that people will go to great lengths to keep you satisfied and avoid your departure. Your security comes from being the linchpin, the one person they simply cannot do without. Finally, for this section, law number 12 advises, use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. This law is about the strategic deployment of apparent virtue. A single, well-timed act of honesty or generosity can create a powerful illusion of trustworthiness and goodwill, making others drop their guard. This small gesture can then serve as a smokescreen for numerous less honorable actions. People are often quick to judge based on initial impressions, and a display of kindness or forthrightness can blind them to your true intentions. It's like a Trojan horse. The gift seems harmless, even beneficial, but it carries a hidden agenda that can be unleashed once trust is established. This method allows for manipulation by first creating a sense of safety and obligation. Continuing our exploration into the intricate world of power dynamics, we arrive at law number 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. This law cuts straight to the core of human motivation. People are, by and large, driven by what benefits them. If you need assistance, simply asking for it based on your plight or past favors will often fall on deaf ears. Instead, frame your request in a way that highlights the advantages the other person will gain by helping you. Exaggerate the potential gains if necessary, making it clear that their involvement serves their own goals, prestige, or profit. When you make it about them, not about you, the chances of securing their cooperation increase dramatically. It transforms a favor into a mutually beneficial transaction, making it much harder for them to refuse. This approach bypasses emotional appeals and taps directly into their rational self-interest, which is a far more reliable motivator. Next, law number 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy, emphasizes the critical importance of information gathering. To effectively navigate any power structure, you must understand your rivals, their strengths, weaknesses, and intentions. The most effective way to do this is often not through direct confrontation, but through subtle infiltration. By appearing friendly and harmless, you can gain access to information that would otherwise be hidden. People are more likely to let their guard down and reveal secrets to someone they perceive as an ally or a non-threat. Ask indirect questions, listen more than you speak, and observe their reactions and interactions. This allows you to uncover their true motives, their vulnerabilities, and the alliances they hold. This knowledge is invaluable because it empowers you to anticipate their moves, exploit their weaknesses, and plan your own strategies with greater precision. It's about becoming a master of covert intelligence, always collecting data. Law number 15 offers a harsh but pragmatic directive. Crush your enemy totally. This law warns against leaving any room for your adversaries to recover or seek revenge. A partially defeated enemy is a dangerous one, often nursing grudges and waiting for an opportune moment to strike back. Making concessions or showing mercy can be seen as weakness, inviting future challenges. The only way to truly neutralize a threat is to ensure their complete annihilation, whether that means destroying their reputation, their resources, or their ability to act against you. This isn't about cruelty for its own sake, but about strategic survival. If you engage in conflict, commit to winning decisively and completely. This prevents future headaches and sends a clear message to anyone else considering opposing you. It secures your position by removing all potential threats. Following this, law number 16 advises, use absence to increase respect and honor. The principle here is that too much presence can make you seem common or easily accessible, thereby diminishing your perceived value. Once you have established your reputation and influence, a temporary retreat or period of absence can actually elevate your status. When you are not constantly available, people begin to miss your presence, appreciate your contributions more, and anticipate your return. This scarcity creates a sense of mystique and importance around you. It makes your appearances more impactful and your words more weighted. However, this must be used strategically. It's not about disappearing entirely, but about controlling the frequency and timing of your presence to maximize its effect. It turns your absence into a tool for increasing admiration and perceived power. Law number 17 is about maintaining an element of control through unpredictability. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Most people find comfort in routine and predictability. By deliberately breaking patterns and acting in ways that others cannot anticipate, you can disorient them and keep them off balance. This prevents them from forming clear strategies against you, as they can never be sure of your next move. When people are unsure of what you will do, they become more cautious, more hesitant, and ultimately, more easily controlled. This unpredictability doesn't mean acting erratically without purpose, but rather strategically introducing an element of surprise into your actions. It instills a subtle fear, making others walk on eggshells around you, granting you a significant psychological advantage. Finally, for this section, we have law number 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. This law cautions against the illusion of safety that comes from withdrawing from the world or surrounding yourself with only a few trusted individuals. While it might seem like a way to protect yourself from enemies, isolation actually makes you more vulnerable. You lose touch with what's happening, you become an easy target, and you deprive yourself of valuable information and potential allies. True safety comes from being integrated within the social fabric, having a network of contacts, and blending in when necessary. Circulate among people, understand the shifting alliances, and gather information. By being present and engaged, you can identify threats early, cultivate support, and avoid becoming an isolated target. It's about understanding that power flows through connections, not through walls. Moving into a deeper understanding of human nature and strategic positioning, we encounter law number 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. This law highlights the critical importance of discernment when choosing your battles and your adversaries. Not all people react the same way to perceived slights or challenges. Some might forget quickly, others might be too weak to retaliate effectively, but a select few will harbor grudges for a lifetime, relentlessly pursuing revenge with a cold, calculating determination. These are the individuals you must avoid offending at all costs. Before taking any action that could provoke hostility, you need to assess the character, resources, and influence of your potential opponent. Attacking someone powerful and vengeful can lead to your own downfall, regardless of the justice of your cause. Choose your victims and adversaries wisely, focusing on those who are either too weak to strike back or too pragmatic to hold a long-term grudge. This careful selection prevents you from creating dangerous, implacable enemies who could undermine your power from the shadows for years to come. It's about picking your fights, not just for the sake of winning, but for the sake of survival and long-term security. Next, law number 20 advises, do not commit to anyone. This principle emphasizes maintaining independence and flexibility in your alliances and loyalties. By avoiding firm commitments to any specific party, cause, or individual, you retain the freedom to maneuver, to play different factions against each other, and to always align yourself with the winning side. Committing too early or too deeply can limit your options, make you an enemy of those opposed to your chosen side, and potentially trap you in a losing battle. The powerful individual keeps their options open, appearing neutral or friendly to all, while secretly calculating which allegiance will best serve their interests at any given moment. This allows you to extract concessions from all sides, as each will vie for your support, and to abandon a sinking ship without being seen as a betrayer. It's about being a free agent in the game of power, never letting yourself be defined or constrained by external loyalties. Law number 21 offers a subtle but effective tactic. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your target.
The essence of this law is to lower people's guard by appearing less intelligent or less formidable than you actually are. Most people derive a sense of satisfaction from feeling superior. If you allow others to believe they are smarter, more cunning, or more experienced than you, they will drop their guard, become complacent, and reveal their true intentions and weaknesses.
This disarms suspicion and makes them more susceptible to your manipulation. By feigning ignorance or simplicity, you create an environment where your targets feel comfortable enough to expose themselves, giving you an invaluable advantage when it's time to strike. It's a powerful form of psychological warfare, turning their arrogance into your greatest tool. Law number 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power offers a counterintuitive approach to conflict. When you find yourself in a position of weakness, direct confrontation can be disastrous. Instead, this law suggests a strategic surrender. By giving in, you gain time to recover, to regroup, and to plan your eventual comeback. A full surrender can disarm a victorious opponent, making them complacent and less vigilant. While they celebrate their triumph, you can subtly work to undermine them, exploit their weaknesses, and wait for the opportune moment to reverse the situation. Fighting for honor when you are clearly outmatched is foolish. True power lies in knowing when to retreat and live to fight another day, turning a momentary defeat into a long-term victory. This tactic requires patience and a willingness to swallow pride for ultimate gain. Following this, law number 23 emphasizes focus. Concentrate your forces. This law is about the power of intense effort directed towards a single, well-chosen objective. Scattered efforts are rarely effective. They dilute your energy, resources, and attention, leading to mediocre results across many fronts. Instead, identify your strongest point, your most promising opportunity, or your most vulnerable enemy, and pour all your resources into that single area. Depth over breadth is the key. By concentrating your forces, you create an overwhelming advantage in that specific domain, making success almost inevitable. It's like finding a rich vein of gold and digging deep, rather than scratching the surface of many different areas. This focused intensity allows for mastery and decisive victory in your chosen field of battle. Finally, law number 24 advises: play the perfect courtier. This law is about mastering the art of social navigation within any power structure. Whether it's a royal court, a corporate office, or a political arena. A perfect courtier understands the delicate balance of flattery, dissimulation, and strategic service. They know how to make their superiors feel important without appearing sycophantic, how to subtly influence decisions without seeming overtly ambitious, and how to protect their own interests while appearing to serve others. This involves cultivating an impeccable image, understanding unspoken rules, and being a master of appearances. It's about moving through the corridors of power with grace and cunning, observing everyone, and making allies without ever fully committing, always ready to adapt to the shifting winds of influence. It ensures survival and advancement in complex social hierarchies. Moving beyond the strategic navigation of power structures, we delve into the realm of self-reinvention and image management, starting with law number 25. Recreate yourself. This law challenges the notion that you are defined by your past or by the roles society or circumstances have assigned to you. Instead, it advocates for a deliberate and conscious effort to forge a new identity, one that is more captivating, more powerful, and more aligned with your ambitions. It means taking control of your narrative, refusing to be pigeonholed, and actively shaping how others perceive you. This isn't about mere superficial change. It's about an internal transformation that manifests externally. You are encouraged to shed old habits, discard limiting beliefs, and adopt traits that project the image of power and authority you desire. This often involves incorporating elements of drama and spectacle into your public persona. Think of historical figures who completely transformed their image, moving from obscurity to prominence by carefully crafting a new, almost mythical, identity. They understood that people are often drawn to what is unique, what is extraordinary, and what seems larger than life. By consciously curating your appearance, your mannerisms, your speech, and even your past stories, you can create a persona that commands attention and respect. This self-reinvention can be a powerful tool for overcoming limitations, escaping a difficult past, or simply elevating your status. It's about becoming the person you want to be, rather than merely accepting the person you were told you are. It requires a certain level of theatricality, a willingness to play a role, and the discipline to maintain that role consistently. The goal is to make your identity a work of art, a carefully constructed facade that serves your strategic objectives. When you control your image, you control how others react to you. And that is a fundamental aspect of power. It's about not letting the world define you, but defining yourself for the world in a way that benefits your long-term goals. Following closely on the heels of self-reinvention is law number 26. Keep your hands clean. This principle is about maintaining an impeccable public image, appearing as a paragon of civility, virtue, and ethical conduct, even when engaging in less than savory activities. The powerful individual understands that direct involvement in unpleasant or morally ambiguous tasks can tarnish their reputation, making them vulnerable to criticism and undermining their authority. Therefore, the wise course of action is to delegate such dirty work to others. This means having subordinates, allies, or even unwitting pawns carry out the necessary but potentially compromising actions. By creating layers of separation between yourself and any negative consequences, you can remain untainted, preserving your image as a leader who is above reproach. If mistakes are made or unethical actions come to light, the blame can be diverted to those who executed the tasks, while you, the master, remain clean and untarnished. This strategy allows you to make tough decisions and achieve difficult objectives without suffering the associated reputational damage. It requires careful planning and the ability to find willing agents, often by offering them incentives or by exploiting their loyalty or desperation. The illusion of purity is a potent weapon in the game of power, as it fosters trust and admiration among your followers and disarms potential critics. It's about understanding that power lies not just in what you do, but in how you are perceived to do it, and ensuring that your public face is always one of integrity and honor, no matter what happens behind the scenes. This law is about the strategic use of distance to protect your most valuable asset, your reputation. Building on the foundation of maintaining an untarnished image, Law number 27 delves into the realm of creating a compelling public identity, advising us to play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following. This law recognizes a fundamental human desire for belief, for something larger than themselves, for a cause to dedicate their energies to. The powerful person understands this need and capitalizes on it by offering a vision, a dream, or a philosophy that resonates deeply with people's hopes and fears. This isn't just about leadership. It's about becoming a focal point around which others organize their lives. By presenting yourself as the embodiment of a grand idea, a prophet of a new way, or the leader of a movement, you can attract a devoted following. This requires an almost theatrical flair, a charismatic presence, and the ability to articulate a message that provides meaning and direction. You become more than just a leader. You become an object of fascination and loyalty. The key is to offer hope, a sense of belonging, and a clear path forward, even if that path is ultimately self-serving. People crave a sense of purpose, and if you can provide it, they will eagerly follow, forming a powerful, almost unbreakable bond with you. This cult-like devotion ensures unwavering support and makes your followers willing to act on your behalf, often with an intensity that ordinary loyalty cannot inspire. It's about tapping into the emotional and spiritual needs of humanity to build an unshakable power base. Next, law number 28 encourages decisive action. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation is the enemy of power. When you deliberate too long, you project an image of weakness, uncertainty, and fear. This creates an opening for rivals to act, for opportunities to slip away, and for your own plans to unravel. Boldness, on the other hand, commands attention and respect. It signals confidence, resolve, and a willingness to take risks. Even if your actions are not perfectly planned, a bold move can often create its own success by disorienting opponents and instilling a sense of awe or fear. People are naturally drawn to those who act with conviction. A bold move, even if it fails, can be more respected than timid inaction. It's about projecting an aura of fearlessness and determination, which can often intimidate rivals into retreat or submission. This law teaches that it is better to act decisively, even imperfectly, than to be paralyzed by overthinking. The world often rewards the brave, and a reputation for boldness can pave the way for future successes, making others anticipate your next move with a mixture of apprehension and admiration. It's about seizing the moment and shaping events rather than being shaped by them. Following this, Law number 29 emphasizes the importance of meticulous planning. Plan all the way to the end. While boldness is crucial, it must be underpinned by foresight. Power is not just about reacting to circumstances, it's about shaping them. This law demands that you envision the entire trajectory of your actions, from the initial move to the final outcome. Do not just think 1 or 2 steps ahead. Consider all possible consequences, reactions, and counter-reactions. A truly powerful individual anticipates obstacles and plans for them, ensuring that every move serves a larger, predetermined goal. This requires patience, detailed analysis, and the ability to think strategically over the long term. If you fail to plan all the way to the end, you risk achieving a short-term victory only to find yourself in a worse position later. It's about playing the long game, understanding that isolated triumphs mean little if they do not contribute to your ultimate objective. This law stresses that true mastery involves controlling the narrative from beginning to end, leaving as little as possible to chance. It means having contingency plans and understanding how each step influences the next, ensuring that your actions lead inexorably to your desired conclusion. Law number 30 advises, make your accomplishments seem effortless. This is about cultivating an aura of natural genius and effortless superiority. While hard work is often a prerequisite for success, displaying the struggle diminishes the perceived grandeur of your achievements. Instead, the powerful person makes their triumphs appear to be the result of innate talent, divine inspiration, or sheer luck, rather than painstaking effort. This creates an intimidating effect, making rivals feel that your power is beyond their reach or comprehension. If people see how much effort you put in, they might believe they too can achieve similar results. By concealing the struggle, you maintain an air of invincibility and uniqueness. This requires practice, a disciplined approach to your craft, and the ability to present a polished, unflustered exterior no matter the internal turmoil. It's about creating an illusion of ease, making your accomplishments seem almost magical, which enhances your mystique and reinforces your power. The less effort you appear to exert, the more powerful and extraordinary you seem to others. Law number 31 focuses on manipulation through limited choices. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. This law is about subtly engineering situations so that others believe they are making independent choices, when in reality, all available options lead to an outcome you desire. It's a sophisticated form of control where you restrict the playing field, making sure that every path a person might choose ultimately serves your interests. This can involve presenting false alternatives, framing choices in a way that biases the decision towards your preferred outcome, or subtly eliminating options that do not benefit you. The illusion of free will is maintained, preventing resentment and making people feel they own their decisions. This strategy requires a deep understanding of human psychology and the ability to anticipate how others will react to different stimuli. By setting the terms of engagement and subtly guiding others towards your objective, you gain immense power without ever appearing to dictate. It's about being the architect of the game, not just a player within it. Finally, law number 32 encourages a strategic use of fantasy. Play to people's fantasies. The world is often harsh and disappointing, and people yearn for escape, for a touch of magic, for something more inspiring than their mundane reality. The powerful individual understands this fundamental human need and provides it. This doesn't mean lying outright, but rather crafting narratives, presenting visions, and promising experiences that appeal to people's deepest desires and dreams. Whether it's a charismatic leader promising a golden age, a marketer selling a lifestyle, or an artist creating an immersive world, tapping into people's fantasies can create immense loyalty and influence. Reality is often too bland. People prefer to believe in something grander, more exciting, or more hopeful. By offering an escape from the ordinary, you can capture imaginations and build a powerful following. This requires understanding what people secretly wish for and then artfully weaving those desires into your public presentation or your message. It's about providing a sense of wonder and possibility that others cannot, making you an indispensable source of inspiration and hope. Moving into the more subtle arts of manipulation and control, law number 33 instructs us to discover each man's thumbscrew. Everyone has a weakness, a secret insecurity, a hidden pressure point that, once found, can be exploited. This law is about the meticulous observation and psychological insight required to uncover these vulnerabilities. It could be an ambition, a fear, a long-held desire, or a moral failing. The powerful individual does not necessarily use this weakness to destroy someone, but rather to gain leverage, to understand how to motivate or dissuade them. By knowing what truly drives or frightens someone, you can predict their actions, influence their decisions, and ultimately control them without them even realizing it. This requires patience and a keen eye for human nature, paying attention to what people value most, what they try to hide, and what makes them uncomfortable. It's about gathering intelligence not just on their capabilities, but on their inner world. Once you find that thumbscrew, you possess a powerful tool that can be used subtly, ensuring that your target remains responsive to your influence. It's not about brute force, but about precise psychological pressure. This knowledge allows you to tailor your approach, making your requests or demands seem perfectly aligned with their deepest needs or fears, thus making resistance almost impossible. Following this, law number 34 advises, be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. This law is about self-perception and projection. If you carry yourself with dignity, confidence, and an unshakable belief in your own worth, others will eventually adopt that perception. It's about creating an aura of authority and high status through your demeanor, your bearing, and your expectations. Do not ask for respect, demand it through your presence. This involves cultivating an air of grandeur, never stooping to petty squabbles, and always maintaining composure. People are often drawn to those who exude power and self-assurance, instinctively deferring to them. By acting as if you are destined for greatness, you subtly implant that idea in the minds of others, making them more likely to treat you with the reverence you project. This isn't about arrogance, but about a deep-seated conviction in your own capabilities and your right to lead. It means setting high standards for yourself and for how others interact with you. A regal bearing can transform how you are perceived, opening doors and commanding respect that mere talent alone might not achieve. Law number 35 highlights the importance of timing. Master the art of timing. Timing is everything in the pursuit of power. There are 3 types of time to consider: long time, forced time, and end time. Long time involves patience, waiting for the opportune moment to strike, letting things develop naturally. Forced time means acting quickly and decisively when an opportunity suddenly arises, seizing the moment before it vanishes. End time is about knowing when to conclude an action, when to retreat, or when to deliver the final blow. Misjudging any of these can lead to catastrophic failure. The powerful individual develops an intuitive sense for the rhythm of events, understanding when to hold back and when to accelerate. This skill is honed through experience and careful observation, learning to read the signs, anticipate trends, and gauge the mood of the moment. Acting too soon can be as damaging as acting too late. Mastering timing allows you to move with precision, striking when your enemies are weakest or when an opportunity is ripe, thus maximizing the impact of your actions and minimizing risk. It's about synchronizing your will with the flow of events. Next, law number 36 warns against clinging to what you cannot have. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Acknowledging a lack or a failure only grants it power over you. If there is something you desire but cannot obtain, or a setback you cannot overcome, the most effective strategy is to dismiss it, to show utter indifference. By acting as if it holds no value or meaning, you deny it the satisfaction of having affected you. This not only preserves your mental fortitude, but also frustrates those who might have sought to deny you or revel in your misfortune. Your apparent disinterest can make your rivals doubt their own victories or the significance of what they possess. It's a psychological weapon that turns an apparent weakness into a display of strength and resilience. This law teaches that emotional detachment is a powerful tool. By refusing to give something the attention it craves, you strip it of its power and maintain your own inner equilibrium. It's about controlling your reactions and refusing to be drawn into battles you cannot win, instead choosing to preserve your energy and focus for more productive pursuits. Law number 37 emphasizes the theatricality of power. Create compelling spectacles. People are easily swayed by grand gestures, symbols, and dramatic displays. The powerful individual understands that reality can be boring and that a touch of theater can elevate their presence and their message. This means staging events, using visual flair, and crafting performances that capture the imagination and stir emotions. Whether it's a carefully orchestrated speech, a public display of generosity, or a symbolic act of defiance, these spectacles create a lasting impression and reinforce your image as someone extraordinary. They distract from mundane realities and create a sense of awe and wonder, making people more susceptible to your influence. It's about understanding that people want to be entertained, to be inspired, and to believe in something larger than life. By providing these compelling spectacles, you can rally support, intimidate opponents, and solidify your position in the collective consciousness. This law is about harnessing the power of illusion and perception to enhance your authority and charisma. Finally, law number 38 advises, think as you like, but behave like others. This law is about blending in strategically. While it's essential to cultivate an individual personality, openly challenging societal norms or acting too unconventionally can draw unnecessary scrutiny and alienate potential allies. The wise person maintains their independent thoughts and beliefs internally, but outwardly conforms to the prevailing customs and traditions. This allows them to operate beneath the radar, avoiding suspicion and gaining acceptance, while secretly pursuing their own agenda. It's a form of camouflage, making you appear harmless and conventional, which can be a powerful advantage when you need to enact radical changes or pursue controversial goals. By not drawing attention to yourself through eccentric behavior, you conserve energy and avoid making unnecessary enemies. This allows you to observe, plan, and execute your strategies more effectively, without being perceived as a threat or an outsider. It's about playing the role expected of you while holding on to your true intentions. Moving into the final set of laws, law number 39 instructs us to stir up waters to catch fish. This principle suggests that confusion and disorder can often be advantageous. When things are calm and predictable, it's harder to gain an edge. By intentionally creating chaos, stirring up conflict, or introducing doubt, you force people to react, often revealing their true intentions, weaknesses, and allegiances. In the ensuing turmoil, opportunities arise that were not present in a stable environment. This doesn't mean creating pointless disorder, but strategically introducing elements that disrupt the status quo, making others uncomfortable and forcing them out of their entrenched positions. It allows you to observe their responses, understand their fears, and then exploit those insights. The adept practitioner of this law knows how to initiate a ripple effect that ultimately benefits their own objectives, often by creating a crisis that only they can resolve or navigate. It's about being the agent of change rather than merely reacting to it. Next, law number 40 warns against the illusion of something for nothing. Despise the free lunch. This law is a crucial reminder that everything has a price, even if it's not immediately apparent. Gifts, favors, or seemingly free offers often come with hidden obligations, unspoken expectations, or future demands that can bind you. To accept something for free is to place yourself in a position of debt, making you vulnerable to manipulation. The wise person understands that true independence comes from paying your own way and avoiding entanglements that compromise your freedom of action. By being suspicious of anything offered without explicit cost, you protect yourself from being ensnared in others' schemes. It encourages a mindset of self-reliance and careful calculation, ensuring that every transaction, every interaction is on your terms, with full awareness of its true value and potential repercussions. It's about recognizing that perceived generosity can often be a strategic move to gain influence or control over you. Law number 41 focuses on dismantling leadership. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. This law emphasizes the critical importance of identifying and targeting the leader or central figure of any group or organization you wish to undermine. Groups, whether political, social, or corporate, derive their cohesion and direction from their leadership. By neutralizing, discrediting, or removing the shepherd, the followers, or sheep, become disoriented, disorganized, and easily scattered. This strategy is far more efficient than trying to fight every individual within a group. It allows for a swift and decisive victory, as the loss of central authority often leads to internal strife, confusion, and ultimately, the dissolution of the collective power. This law teaches a direct and focused approach to conflict, aiming for the heart of the matter rather than engaging in peripheral battles. It requires keen observation to identify the true source of influence and strength within an opposing entity. Building on the power of perception, law number 42 advises, play on people's need to believe in magic to create a cult-like following.
People are often drawn to mystery, to the inexplicable, and to grand visions that promise transformation or escape from mundane reality. By cultivating an aura of mystique, offering compelling narratives, and performing actions that seem almost miraculous, you can inspire a deep, almost irrational loyalty. This isn't about actual magic, but about crafting an image that transcends the ordinary.
Making you appear as someone with unique insights, powers, or destinies. It involves speaking in sweeping terms, avoiding overly detailed explanations, and allowing others to project their hopes and desires onto you. This creates a powerful emotional bond that can override rational thought, leading to unwavering devotion and a willing suspension of disbelief among your followers. It's about tapping into fundamental human desires for meaning, belonging, and something extraordinary. Law number 43 emphasizes adaptability. Assume formlessness. This law teaches that rigidity is a weakness. To be truly powerful, one must be as fluid and adaptable as water, taking the shape of whatever container it fills. By avoiding predictable patterns, fixed ideologies, or rigid structures, you become incredibly difficult for adversaries to target or understand. When you are formless, you cannot be easily attacked, as there is no specific point to strike. This involves constant evolution, embracing change, and being willing to shed old identities or strategies when necessary. It requires an open mind, a willingness to learn from every situation, and the ability to shift tactics on the fly. Being formless means never committing fully to one approach, but always being ready to pivot, confusing opponents, and ensuring your survival and continued influence in a constantly changing world. It is the ultimate defense, making you an ungraspable target. Finally, law number 44 serves as a concluding thought, encapsulating the entire philosophy. The 48 laws of power are not merely a collection of cynical tactics, but a deep dive into the unchanging realities of human nature and societal dynamics. They offer a mirror to the often uncomfortable truths about ambition, manipulation, and the relentless pursuit of influence. While controversial, their value lies not in blindly following each law, but in understanding the mechanisms of power at play in every interaction. The book forces readers to confront the darker aspects of human behavior, both in themselves and in others, providing a framework for navigating complex social landscapes. It serves as a guide for self-preservation, strategic thinking, and achieving one's goals in a world where power is constantly being sought, wielded, and challenged. The ultimate lesson is not just how to gain power, but how to recognize it, protect oneself from it, and understand its profound impact on history and individual lives. It is a tool for observation, a lens through which to view the world with greater clarity and less naivete.